This lock is different from others you might know. You'll need an enchantment on your chisel to use it. Rune. Go ahead. Carve the letter. It's an incantation. Suna.
The elves in Freya's camp mentioned a gate like this in Alfheim. Talked on about some sacred light elf sanctum out past the barrens.
A trip to Alfheim. Well, we can decide at the gateway. This boat should get us there if we can clear those vines. Remember what to do? There's a fallen log in the river. It has something on it I don't recognize.
Looks like soundstone to me. I'm sure those new arrows Brok gave you would make quick work of that.
We're clear. So it's true. Tyr's really alive?
Aye. Not exactly shipshape. He sleeps in a broom closet now. But he's adjusting.
How did you find him?
Largely that's down to Atreus having figured out how to access the prophecies giants reserved for their own kind. We only learned of it ourselves after Thor and Odin came calling.
To your home? Is it still standing?
Barely. But all the violence was seemingly just a distraction to let Odin have a private word with Atreus.
Odin was alone with your son? Did he tell you what they spoke of?
Yes. He said that Odin invited him to Asgard to help him find his answers.
The answers he's rushing into fate in search of. That's troubling. Well, if you're ready to talk to him, the Mystic Gateway is ahead. If not, I have some unfinished business up this river I could use your help with.
Or we can follow up on that elven sanctum out in Alfheim's desert.
If you want to continue exploring, we'll need to remove that log in the river.
What is this?
I don't know. But giants definitely crafted it. There's 2 wolves represented here. Perhaps a connection to our friends is good. We can explore the river now. And hopefully write some more stories.
What is your unfinished business?
I left something behind, near the falls.
Your wedding site. Now why do you want to be going back there?
To be free of the bonds of my marriage. And to Asgard.
I think you severed that a long time ago.
Not completely. Not enough.
Guide us.
My people settled this river many ages ago. Thousands traveled it on pilgrimage to the shrine of worship. But then the Aesir came. This is all that's left. Reavers, of course.
Brother, did you ever think of cooking meat with those blades of yours?
No. They would foul the meat.
Oh, because of the magic on them? Hold that thought. I think it's about to get violent. Behind you!
done.
A Noken song. Stay alert.
That Noken's healing its friends, brother! Right side! On your right!
Watch your right!
Right side! Watch your left!
It's regaining strength!
Guys, you watch out!
Another drawbridge. We'll need to lower it.
Anything illuminating?
Something hanging from that tree above us. Could be useful. Sigil arrows won't work on this. like that worked. Well, that did it.
On your right!
Behind you! Look out!
It's unstable! Get back!
Freya, something your brother said. The Aesir burned him.
Yes. We weren't yet at war, but relations with the Vanir and Aesir had been hostile for ages. Freyr got it into his head that he could improve relations by sharing our magic with them. Vanir techniques for bountiful harvests, enough to feed their whole population. Getting set on fire was the thanks he got.
That's true. The Aesir were too undisciplined and impatient for the subtlety of Vanir spellcraft. So when things went wrong, they blamed their teacher.
So Freya was a guest when Odin burned him.
Not exactly. Odin didn't mind locking Freya up. He saw the potential of the magic and wanted to know more than how to improve crop yields. But enough of that for now.
Steady your guard!
It's a fine mess.
This crest belonged to Odin. A peace offering from my people. And a waste of good work.
Felt that one, brother.
Changing arrows! Alpha!
Brother, get ready!
Behind you! Incoming!
Right, you watch out! You're on fire, Kratos! It will pass! Ah, just a fine mess.
Let me attack! Good riddance!
You're on fire, Kratos! It will pass!
Always this ravenous. The ecosystem. It's out of balance.
All is desolation, a fitting fate.
Astrid. No. Life returns to the garden. Good.
Nothing can grow from scorched soil. No hope can spring from burned roots.
I'd like to go talk with her.
This mentions a spell that puts trolls to sleep, and a magic relic that acts as a sort of counter spell.
Sigil arrows won't work on this. The family crest of Fenrir. Poor man.
Can you see if there's a way inside while you're up there?
This garden still aches. There must be more poison somewhere.
Learn anything?
I have failed my charge.
There she is again. She obviously needs help, and I'd like to give it.
Spirit.
Freya, you returned.
Astrid, what happened to you? To your garden?
The anger, my life's work rotted. My monument to your glory reduced to this. I am sorry, my queen.
You need never apologize to me, old friend.
I swore to keep this garden in bloom until you return. To live forever amongst its putrescence. A just punishment.
I will return, Astrid. Kratos, we purge this garden of poison.
Why?
The earth is a reflection of those who tend it. So long as the land is plagued, her soul will be as well. Look, the door's held shut by that counterweight. We lower it, the door will open. We have to destroy the totems. They're poisoning Astrid's garden. See that explosive? Setting it off could help.
Ah, maybe you can hit it from a different angle.
It's finished. Let's return to Astrid.
The land, it's alive
Yes.
again.
Your garden grows again.
Freya, how did you?
It's okay, Astrid. It's time to move on.
Thank you, goddess. I do love you.
You've done a great kindness.
A temporary one. The garden will die again.
All things do. That is no reason not to try. Look, over there.
Those vines have grown through the window. Maybe we could get closer from the other side.
Oh, glad to see that still works. An armor piece bearing Lunda's brand. Shame it's broken. Nice bit of work otherwise.
Then why leave it?
You suspicious of her, brother?
If the orb she seeks is important, she would not have left it behind.
Perhaps.
Those vines. They're growing from that bridge.
Mimir, what did you mean when you said Freya was not exactly a guest of the Aesir?
I meant by the time they burned him, he'd been a prisoner for some time. It was a mob of lesser Aesir, bitter and short-sighted, who tied him up and lit him aflame, as punishment for the sabotage they imagined him guilty of. Obviously, he survived. In fact, he used the opportunity to escape. But such an affront made war inevitable.
Freyr certainly wasn't the same after that. At least for a while. His carefree ways were replaced with nightmares, paranoia, and lashing out. It doesn't excuse what he said at my wedding, but I do understand where his anger came from.
Freya, there's something I've always wanted to ask. What was it Hrimthur whispered to you?
Who?
Hrimthur, the son of Thormur, the stonemason, who disguised himself and built Asgard's wall.
Oh, yes. One of the many occasions Odin saw fit to involve me in a wager without my consent. I wish I could say that was the worst of his husbandly habits.
What wager?
I've told this story, brother.
And now she may tell her own.
There isn't that much to tell. I knew nothing of it at first, surely because Odin didn't expect to lose the bet. A mysterious mason had to build the entire wall in 3 turns of the season.
2! It was 2!
And if he was late, he'd be owed nothing. But if he succeeded, he was promised an audience with the queen.
Hold. We will finish later. Despite his actions in Midgard, Atreus does still care for you.
I know. I raised a son, too. It may be hard to believe, but he was quite similar to Atreus at this age. He adored his father, always wanted to do right by him, and was constantly frustrated that no matter what he did, he never could seem to get his approval. He confided in me a lot, sought the comfort his father withheld. I wonder if your son could benefit from that too.
He has befriended the other dwarf. The blue one's brother.
Oh, Well, if Sindri has that covered, I suppose there's no need for me in his life anymore, is there?
That is not what I meant.
That was sarcasm.
Freya, can we return to your story of Hrimthur? You said if he built Asgard's wall in time, he was promised an audience with you.
Yes. Or so I learned one day when Odin burst into our bedchambers, raging and half-drunk before noon, telling me to get dressed and go see what the Mason wants. So, off I went, not knowing what had truly been promised or expected. Dagger stashed in my robe for emergency. And this Mason, this giant in disguise.
His name was Hrimthur!
He just smiled to see me. And as you said, he whispered in my ear. He said the Aesir had killed his father, and he needed to know that one day they'd burn for it. I pointed out I was Aesir now too, technically. He gave me a look, as if he somehow knew better, and continued. He said he'd built in a structural flaw behind the Asgard Realm Tower.
I knew it! How do we make use of it?
Let this wait. Stay alert.
Great. Maybe you can break the chain from here as well, no? The gate's open. We can head back and get inside.
Incoming! Above you!
Watch your left!
You know, I would have beaten you
What?
earlier, if Atreus hadn't been there.
Perhaps.
We could go again, find out for certain.
I would rather not.
I'll bet you wouldn't.
Freya, what you said about the flaw that Thor built into Asgard's wall, did he explain how it works? How do we exploit it?
We don't. He said Surtur would know what to do. And if Surtur's approaching Asgard's wall...
Then it is already Ragnarok.
Ah, blast it. I hoped it might have given us another way.
Set that aside for now. Come.
Well, brother, before you see the lad again, might we discuss an approach?
He will tell me where he has been. That is my approach.
Ah, classic Spartan diplomacy.
Wait. Did you say Odin invited him to Asgard, and then he disappeared for 2 days?
Aye, but surely the lad's got more sense than to...
Don't underestimate Odin's powers of persuasion. He filled my son's head with lies. Why wouldn't he do the same with yours?
And you tell that one-eyed nutsucker he owes me one.
Thank me now and eternally.
Well, looky there. Glad you can make the trip, your goddessness. I put your sigil magic on the young turd's bow, but then he and Sindri got into it over something. I don't rightly know who's yelling at who in there, but I figure they both got it coming. Well, come on, man. Hey, Tyr! Wake up! You got company. Now, why don't you just make yourself at home in your so-called study over yonder?